There are two types of radiation: ionizing radiation and non-ionizing radiation. Based on today's topic, our focus is to be on ionizing radiation and its effect. Basically, we are going to discuss how we are going to protect ourselves. The sources of ionizing radiation, there are two types: natural sources and man-made sources. Again, natural sources are not in our control. We are going to look at the man-made sources of ionizing radiation, which is used for diagnosis and therapeutic procedures. As we said, natural radiation is everywhere, so there is no regulatory control on this. Non-ionizing radiation, actually we are going to focus on ionizing radiation. Because we are in the field of radiology, we also have MRI and ultrasound used for diagnostic procedures. So there is no regulation by Atomic Energy Regulatory Board for ultrasound and MRI units. However, there are international guidelines and PCPNDT Act which guides these two modalities. Radiation protection techniques, what you have to remember always is STD, that is shielding. T stands for time and D stands for the distance. This STD you always remember in whatever work you do, because it is applicable even for infection control. What shielding you use to protect. In the current scenario, you all know how much you protect yourself by wearing protective devices, and also the time taken, how much time you spend with the infected customer. You have to ensure as soon as possible, quickly you have to do in a safe and caring environment. Plus the distance, as much as possible recommendations you have to follow. Let's work together to provide a safe and caring environment to the patients. Safety and quality are the two wheels of radiology department, and we have to be very much careful about the radiation, as you all know the effects of radiations. So why talk about safety, about radiation in radiology? Yes, there is MRI safety to be followed, and also the contrast whatever you inject for radiology procedures. Guys, we are responsible for our colleagues, means whoever works in the hospital, the public, whoever comes in and out of the hospital and our department, and the customers, that's the patient. Always the safety is search for the hazards in whatever you do, analyze the risk, find the cause, eliminate the cause, tell others, that is by training and teaching them, and know that you are in a safe and caring environment, because our safety is also very important. Why always we talk about radiation safety? Because that is very important. And most of our colleagues, they show negligence in protecting themselves. Guys, please understand, there are juniors and students and interns, they are following you, they are observing you. So let's not pass on wrong signals and teach them the wrong practices. Don't show negligence in you by where you have to take time to wear your protective devices and also the measuring devices. Like TLD is a measuring device and the lead devices are the protective devices. We used to hear from our colleagues like, I am married, I have already children. This is not the importance of whether you have children or not having children. It is the work practices, what you have learned and what you are going to do on your day-to-day activities, because you are being an example to the other people in the department. As a leaders, as a seniors, and whoever you are, don't show negligence in taking care of these safety measures. Sometimes my colleagues used to hide behind the machines. We are not playing here hide and seek. This is very important. So let's be very much proactive in our safety and also be a best person in sharing knowledge to our juniors, because this is going to be an example in the place wherever you are going to work. You have to be very much strict in these guidelines. This is the reason people again and again insist on this. It is not only for any accreditation or for any audit you do these things. Like when you see a traffic police, you wear your helmet. That is not the purpose of the helmet. So please understand, whoever sees you or whoever is monitoring you, that is not the matter. You have to follow the best practices and be an example to the professionals. The radiology workflow, I just wanted to tell you a short workflow which is going to happen in radiology. Every hospital has their own practices. However, from radiology reception till the patient is taken for any procedures, you have to do a short timeout study, because radiation safety is not only wearing lead aprons and following STD, that is shielding, time and distance. You should do a timeout study so that you know the proper clinical history, why you are doing the study, whether you are doing the right patient, the right procedure. So the timeout study is to know the patient demographics and also the clinical problem so that the right anatomy is being imaged. Guys, in this busy world, there are a lot of redos happening, repeat exposures. It is not selfie to take 10, delete 9 and send the good one. Please understand, you are exposing the patient unnecessarily. Understand the importance of your job role. Will you do it for your children's? Will you do it for your parents? Let's set an example in this profession. Yes, sometimes the redos happen for some reasons, maybe some malfunction of the unit or some exposures, maybe misunderstanding or the communication failure where the patient has not prepared well. Barring these things, with your negligence, you should not do it. It is not a relay, one person receiving the patient, one person putting the order, one person changing the dress, one person positioning. Don't be too luxurious. Yes, sometimes the seniors will come and oversee it, but when we are learning this radiation safety as a workflow, we have to ensure that we take time. The time what I'm mentioning here is not more than 2 minutes or not even 3 minutes. So take time to do a timeout study, and also the history is very important because the radiologist who's going to report needs that history. Sometimes some hospitals have teleradiology also, where they will not have access to the clinical history from the hospital information system. The more you quickly finish this task, the report is generated, signed off, and even the critical report and the printed report is ready for dispatch so that the referring doctor can treat the patient. Even though I explained you in 2 to 3 minutes, this takes a time of 30 minutes to 1 hour based on the procedures from X-ray to MRI. So our role is to ensure that we follow these procedures without biasing any workflow. As per ARB guidelines, we are called radiation professionals and there are radiation workers also. Radiation professionals are nothing but they give where you can become an RSO in as per the ARB approval. For this, you need at least minimum 3 to 5 years of experience and also experience in all the modalities. Also, your certification should be valid, which they look into it. So, you have to submit all your documents where the Atomic Energy Regulatory Board professionals through eLORA is the software which they have provided for us, where they will approve your ID and you can become a radiational profession. But there are a lot of duties for you, which I will explain in the coming. In radiology, we have radiologist and radiographer. Not to explain much, you all know, but the radiologist help in diagnosing all the problems in the human body and with the help of our image. So please understand, whatever medical equipments you have, whether imported or even a very high class machines, or you have a very senior doctor or the doctors from any country. If your image quality is not good, the doctors are going to miss the diagnosis. Missing the diagnosis is like the patient is not going to be treated for the right problem, so we will lose the life. Guys, please understand the importance of our role in the hospital. So let's focus on this and know the proper value of ourselves and accordingly. Diagnostics X-ray, there are two types. One is radiograph and fluoroscopy. It is like your mobile pictures and your video recordings. And diagnostic is nothing but we are finding out the problem in the body. And the therapeutic radiographers are nothing but they are killing the cancer cells. Example, we are finding the cancer cells in the body through CT, and the therapy radiographers, our colleagues will using radiation, nuclear medicine and all, they will try to control it. So basically diagnostics is different from therapeutic. Diagnostic use low energy X-rays and therapy they use high energy X-rays. Please understand whatever specialty you are, whatever modality you handle. I'm talking a general overview of this, not mentioning about radiographer or nuclear medicine technologist or a radiotherapist. But everybody should understand you have a license to operate wherever you are. But ensure that you know your job. You should go through the manual, radiation safety manual, and the guidelines. You have to follow your state guidelines. What is your duty? We have to keep the radiation exposure to the lowest practical levels. As I said, we have to do a timeout study. Standard approved protocols. We should know for what clinical problem, what views we have to perform, or what is the planning we have to do, and what are the sequences we have to do. Try to avoid redos. So no redo. And wear protective devices, that is lead devices, we have to do. Please understand, take time to take care of your safety. Radiation visible warning light should be on during exposure. That's the red light which you used to see on the doors or on the walls. Wear appropriate radiation monitoring devices. TLD badge, that's thermoluminescent dosimeter. That you should wear your TLD badge. The importance instructions for TLD badge is very important. Is as I said, you should wear only your badge, which should carry your institution number and your personal number. Always there is a control badge also which will be stored in radiation free area, which may be an ultrasound room or the radiology reception. Always wear TLD card at the chest level, and also if you are wearing an apron, it should be below the lead apron. Use the card of the valid service period, and once the service period gets over, you have to send it for testing to the respective laboratories. Sometimes there may be a delay in payment or delay in courier service. However, try to use the current batch, but however, try to mention a letter or email to the service providers. Your badge is your own. Use only for your hospital. You cannot carry to the other hospitals because we don't know how safe that hospital buildings are. In case if you record a wrong or a high exposure, it will affect all the hospitals. Means it will affect only your current hospital, which the number of the personal number or the institution number is there. Once loaded, don't play with that. Anything damaged in the TLD, don't use it. Don't leave your badges in radiation area. Normally, we have seen some colleagues going for lunch urgently, go and hang their lead apron with the badge or with their white aprons, whatever they are wearing. So please understand, have some best practices, what you have to follow. This hand wash, these things and all will take 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Our negligence only happens at this seconds. You have waited so much time for lunch or a coffee break or whatever break you take in between your work. Please ensure you have to take 2 to 3 minutes to settle these things, then you can go, so that there is a very good environment you are providing to the hospital. If you suspect any overexposure, inform your radiation safety officer immediately. Don't take your badge outside the workplace. Also, sometimes when you go for coffee outside the hospital, even it get exposed to sun light. So please don't take it outside. Always check your received dose report and sign every quarterly. And it is the duty of the radiological safety officer to share the report to all the users. Normally used to see cautions outside the all the areas. This is very important. It should be in at least 3 languages: English, local languages at least, and the public, whoever you get more, means the language whatever they speak more, it should be displayed on the doors of all X-ray producing rooms. All exposure should be kept as low as reasonably achievable. Please understand, there are certain things which normally they used to check the leakage radiation by doing an QA survey. Also, you have to protect yourself from scattered radiations. So please follow best practices to reduce your dose. Our critical organs are very important, like islands, thyroid, and gonads. So you have to ensure to use proper lead devices always when you are in the radiation zone. The recommended dose limit for effective dose for an year is 20 millisievert per year, and for the public it is 1 millisievert. So we have to follow this dose limit recommendations and always look at the dose, and as soon as you receive the dose report, please have a short meeting with the stakeholders and ensure that they have not crossed the limits. There are even annual dose for other individual organs like eyelids, 150 millisieverts, skin and hand. It's not that because it is like so much is there, you have to use all this dose limit. The recommendations is use it as low as possible. And normally in radiation, whatever we have seen is the annual average dose in our country is 0.64 millisievert dose limit. It is less than the public average dose per year. It is our prime responsibility to ensure safety in our work environment. The other caution very important in radiology is pregnant patients should not be exposed to radiation. So there should be proper screening of last menstrual period, and also the visual signages should be available. Also, as you said, local language communication is very important. Sometimes you need female radiographers to go and talk to the attenders because it is something privacy. Some people don't like male technologists asking this. However, the way how you ask is very important. So try to have proper consent forms in order to, because you cannot have lady technologists around the clock. So we have to have best practices and best communication words and the consent forms available in the manner you ask, so that also don't shout in reception or in public areas. So you have to take them in such a way that they don't feel that you are shouting too much on certain things, like even for any other women's imaging. This is a very important point which you have to carry in your department. What is the radiation worker duty? Everybody in our radiology department, all our radiographers falls under this category. It is our responsible in case if the machine is malfunctioning, we have to not get panic. Normally in emergency, if you get panic, everything is going to go wrong. So don't get panic. In case of emergency, this is applicable even to fire or any other medical emergency, or even if you get angry, just don't get panic. Stop. In the case of X-ray machine, stop your work. First turn off the power, because X-ray requires power to produce radiation. So just cut it. Means don't cut the cable. Just stop, turn off the power. Tag the machine out of order, because then our next shift colleague also should know about it. Inform the unit biomedical engineer. In case of escalation, even you can call the company service provider. Please don't forget it. This is one thing very important in your work. Guys, if you see certain images I'm going to show you, which is being given by Atomic Energy Regulatory Board, See the best practices, whatever they are following here. Always in X-ray radiation used in medical imaging or in surgical like orthopedic, interventional radiology procedures, our colleagues will go to C-arm assisting surgeries and all. Always follow STD. Your shielding is very important. The time of exposure is very important. Limit it. Only the required time you have to expose, and the distance from the source you have to maintain it. Please ensure that the cable length is limited there. Don't stretch too much, that will cause defect in the cables. So please ensure that, and also you have to be at least 15 minutes before the procedure starts, because the procedure will be started by a surgeon and other people, so they will come on that time, as our duty is to go and see the space available for moving the machine or placing the machine, or in case of mobile x-ray to place the cassette. So we have to take time to analyze this and do for anything you do. Even the position of the tube, for when it comes to fluoroscopy, you have to ensure that the tube actually maximize the distance between the x-ray tube and the patient, and for the image intensifier should minimize the distance. If you see here, see the distance and the distance here. So this will help one to reduce the radiation dose and also increase image quality. The magnification mode when is used in image intensifier results in higher patient dose. So collimate it only to the area of interest. Always use lead goggles. See, whatever I am talking about, the protective devices should be available wherever you are joining as, whether if you are taking a new role in any of the hospital. During your entry process also, you have to talk to them and understand whether the protective devices are available and the TLD services are available. This is not a complaint to you, or don't escalate it in a manner. This is very important to you. So you have to make the institute people understand the importance of this. Anybody writes a mail about these issues to Atomic Energy Regulatory Board, they come for an inspection, and they what they do is they advise you what are the best practices. They give you time in order to close that point. In case if you don't follow their instructions, it is violating the regulatory rules, then you have to view the consequences, whatever is going to happen. Then what they may do, worst in worst, is they can seal your institute. Exposing the same area is also sometimes which will cause hotspot burns. So please understand, that's the reason you have to keep changing the projections. So to avoid skin injuries and radiating burns, you have to be a little more careful. So please understand these techniques whenever you are doing certain procedures. Avoid standing on the tube side for oblique and horizontal X-ray beam. Guys, even though I am showing some machines, this is applicable to all the modalities wherever it is exposed with radiation. So please understand, you have to be very much careful. So if you see this X-ray tube standing, you have to avoid it. Okay. Stand on the side of the transmitted beam, that is on the side of the imager. This will help in the reduction of dose. So these are the best practices, whatever you have to follow when you are working in a radiation zone. Avoid putting your hand in the direct X-ray beam. Certain urology procedures or certain C-arm procedures, sometimes X-ray also, when you are holding, actually we are not supposed to hold any customers, because as we are going to live lifelong in this profession and every day you will working in an ionizing radiation zone, you have to ensure not to hold any patients. However, you have to avoid putting hand in direct X-ray beam. There are certain lead gloves also available. Earlier for barium procedures, to press the abdomen and in order to see the loops or to separate the loops, they used to use lead gloves and get exposed. Actually, that is not the right practice. Collimate the X-ray beam to the area of interest. So you have to understand, in order to reduce the dose and also to increase image quality, always you have to collimate the X-ray beam to the area of interest. So don't open it widely, so that is not required. Atomic Energy Regulatory Board issues license after verifying these compliances and all. However, they may not come to your hospital at that time, but during project phase, you submit and you declare everything that it is in place. So don't give false information. Most of the radiation received by us is due to scattered radiation emerging from patient body. Whatever comes from the X-ray tube is the primary radiation. So whatever emitted from the patient is called scattered radiation. So the majorly we are protecting ourselves from scattered radiation. So please ensure the practices whatever we said earlier, like collimating the beam, only using the area of interest to be covered, and the distance, everything will help you to reduce this radiation dose. Again, as we said, everybody whoever is in the room has to wear the lead apron and lead goggles, and try to limit the number of peoples required for certain procedures, because only the required number should be there. Even in operating room there will be a scrub nurse, the anesthetist, and the surgeon. So please try to have as much as lead aprons required for any procedures. Atomic Energy Regulatory Board has made a fantastic online things which everybody should know about it. And every hospital, even if you are having a dental X-ray machine only in your hospital, you have to get registered. This will help for them to collect in India how many machines, what type of machines, how many people are working, where are you working, are you being provided with TLD badge. Lot of informations are available. Please log into your user ID of your hospitals. If you need any support or any help in this, we are free to help you out. Please contact us at any given point of time. All the licenses are free. So please, you have to understand, Atomic Board gives all licenses free. These are new regulations which you have to put the signages on all the X-ray doors, and what you are seeing here is the license for that particular machine, whatever the room you are displaying. So that license validity will be there. So you have to display it. There should be caution warning signages, and you have to mention the equipment name, model name, and license name. You have to follow all these guidelines. This is also a very important part of the radiation. Once again, I want to take you through the shielding. So you have to use appropriate shielding to reduce the dose rate. Wearing a lead apron wherever whatever you are performing, you have to ensure that this will reduce dose. So please provide or be behind the shielding whenever you are exposing or performing. The next is the shorter exposure time means, which will help you to reduce the dose. So as low as possible you have to do. So you have to be very much familiar with the radiation dose techniques and also the recommendations by the company. And the distance, you would have heard about inverse square law. So doubling the distance from the radiation source means 1/4 of the dose rate. Okay, so this is very important. So as much as possible, you have to maintain the distance. Once again, I wanted to take you through the importance of TLD batch. So there is a recommended dose limit, which is 20 millisievert in a year, which is averaged over a period of 5 years. So you have to ensure, for every radiation worker, you cannot cross 20 millisievert in a year. And you have to use your TLD badge. Properly loading and wearing is very important. So never wear outside the lead apron. Always you have to wear inside the lead apron. As we said, display the warning signages are very important, and never store or leave the TLD badge in the X-ray room. As mentioned earlier, you have to be very much careful about this, and always wear your TLD badge at chest level. We wanted to again and again give importance to wearing lead apron and wearing TLD because these two are very important for the best radiation. When you go for mobile and dental X-ray in the hospital, please ensure there also you have to have a lead apron. Don't fold the lead aprons, and you have to ensure wherever, even for inpatient mobile, you have to wear lead apron and TLD badge. Okay, make good use of time distance shielding principle to reduce radiation exposure. So wherever, if you see whatever they wanted, wherever they talk about this radiation, only they will be talking about STD. There is no other means you can protect yourself or you can do a best or a good job in radiation. Few things about collimating the beam. That's what only the target should be exposed. Don't open the X-ray field, which is not required. This will cause radiation exposure. And again, the pulsed fluoroscopy reduces exposure. So that's what we are again talking about you in your duty working environment. Please be familiar with the radiation safety procedures, manuals, and the operating manuals given by the vendor. You will be able to do a better job. Always doing a good job and better job is not expected from us. As professionals, we always should aim outstanding job. So let's work together in order to protect ourselves and also the public. As discussed earlier, you have to see the distance between the image intensifier and the patient. You have to reduce it as much as possible because this will give scattered rows more and also degrade the image quality. Here you will have a very good image quality and also the scattered ray will be less, the image quality will be good. So always your position is very important. Understand it, and it is your responsibility to teach other colleagues and the doctors if they don't understand what you are talking about. So that's how the induction helps. When you start the hospital or when a new joiner joins, new entrants come to the hospital, you have to train them and make them understand. And as I said, this lead protective devices, TLD also, MRI also, you have to train them on zone 4. So please ensure that you have a proper induction training module to train all the new joiners. There are ceiling suspended screens in rooms also, like lead flaps are also available, lead shield, head gears are available, and these are the things which are very important to be procured in the project phase itself. Like TLD, even interventional doctors have TLD rings also. So, and also they have wrist TLD. So the interventional radiologist and the interventional cardiologist requirement also should be met when you are preparing your plan for any new projects. Guys, in radiology, the employee safety is very important. The clinical quality is very important because if you give a good quality image only, the radiologist will be able to produce a accurate report. The patient safety and the service quality are the priorities of radiology. There are already radiation dose of adults for procedure wise has been given. For an example, if I wanted to share, if you look at the chest radiograph, so the approximate effective radiation dose is 0.1 millisievert for any chest X-ray. This is equal to 10 days compared to the natural background radiation. These are guidelines from ACR, that is American College of Radiology, and these are RSNA and radiologyinfo.org gives this information. But for this, you have to do only one time X-ray, no repeats, proper appropriate technique, collimation, use appropriate size of cassette. The, even though they are given approximate effective radiation dose, if you don't have a protocol or if you don't know the proper technique, like if you see some new hospitals, the beginning they used to display the technique chart, what technique you have to follow in case of brain trauma, what is the planning you have to do in a CT brain, what is the sections you have to do, where you have to plan, from where to where you have to end. These are the protocols very important. So for every investigation, most of the hospitals, and they have a set protocol in order to meet the effective radiation dose. If you are exceeding this, case to case basis, you should have reasons for exceeding it, and also which staff is exceeding it. If somebody is not following it and exceeding the radiation, then you have to do a proper training to them, provided the machine is calibrated at given intervals. There should not be any malfunctioning of the machines, so you have to monitor. As we said, there is a tolerance level and moderate risk and high risk in radiation effects. So you have to understand even death is possible when it exceeds the limit. That is the lethal dose. So please understand the critical thing and also the importance and work. One more important thing is there is a pediatric dose and adult dose. You should understand, and also a geriatric. It cannot be same for all. So the actual dose can vary depending on the person size as well as on the differences in the imaging protocols, practices, and the equipment output. Regular on-job training and calibration is mandatory. So when the pediatric comes, you have to switch on to the pediatric mode and you have to use. Why again geriatric you have to go to pediatric mode or a lesser than the adult is? Because their bone calcium level will be less. So you have to understand the importance of techniques. So when you prepare a technique chart or a protocol for any modality, you have to have for three categories: pediatric, adult, and geriatric, which will help to save the time of the procedure also. The important responsibilities of a radiological safety officer is it is his responsibility to train all the team members in the hospital, including the other department staffs, and also to carry a routine measurements and analysis on radiation and radioactive levels in a controlled area, supervised area, and the installations, whatever installations happening related to radiation, that is ionizing radiation or even nuclear medicine or radiotherapy, he has to do a proper planning, and the planning should match with the ERB guidelines. The guidelines are available in the internet in the ELORA. So they have to follow the room size and the shielding material and the position of the machine where it is going to be, and which floor it has to be, and what are the departments should be surrounding, how the corridor should be there, or there should not be waiting area for pregnancy patients. So everything comes in the project planning. It is a responsibility of the RS. For all installation, it is applicable. Again, I wanted to inform you all, always wear the TLD badge at chest level, always stand behind the protective barrier, that is lead shields, and there are even lead barriers with wheels are available, 6 feet into 3 feet. Avoid self-folding of patients for X-ray imaging. If needed, ask the patient's relative to assist the patient by providing him a lead apron. However, look whether the patient relative, if it is a woman of childbearing age, you cannot consider them. Use collimator, that is to limit the X-ray field to the area of interest. Ensure that X-ray room is closed during the X-ray images. Guys, any negligence in the points discussed in this slide cannot be tolerated at any level. There is nothing you are junior, student and all. The importance is you have to know. Means if you are riding a bike, you should know where is the brake and what you have to do when there is rush. So you should know all the practices and you should know the function of the vehicle. As I said in the earlier, one important thing as a radiographer is lifelong you should be an expert in anatomy and physiology, medical terminology, and the safety precautions and the do's don'ts in radiology. These things are your lifelong till you are in this field. You cannot say that or show any negligence in this. As we said, you can see this is to explain how the scattered dose will be there. So you have to ensure that you are being safe behind a shielding and use appropriate technique so that the distance also is maintained. So you are exposed very less, in the sense you are not even getting exposed. So you have to monitor your TLD badges dose report, and even if it gets zero point 0.5 or anything, you have to look for reasons and always monitor the best practice. On summary, I wanted to talk about as we said, we have to understand that effects of ionizing radiation may be deterministic and stochastic, immediate or delayed, somatic or genetic. Some tissues are highly radiosensitive. Each tissue has its own risk factor. Risk from exposure may be assessed through such factors, taking into account the various beneficial applications of radiation in industries, medicine, agriculture, etc. Radiation source should be handled with care rather than fear. There are already nowadays the missions are being in best control. Every mission is being analyzed and the research is being done and the approval is given by Atomic Energy Regulatory Board. It is safe for the user and the public, and you should know the control areas and avoid restriction for other people entering that zone. Radiation training, that is safety training, is in continuation with the summary. I like to highlight few important points. Let's follow Atomic Energy Regulatory Board safety recommendations. As I said, starting from procurement approval till getting a license to operate, there are different easy steps and very fine tuned available in the online. So it is very important for each one of you attending this session to know the process. And also, let's create a good, safe, and caring environment for ourselves and also for our colleagues. Let's teach our students, radiology interns, and juniors and our colleagues the best practices, and let's focus on center of excellence in radiology or radiotherapy, nuclear medicine, whatever profession we are. Let's follow the regulatory guidelines, work with integrity, follow ethical practice. Clean environment is what Corona has taught us. Let's not wait for somebody to teach us lessons. In healthcare, it's very important for us to follow the best clean practices. Let's do induction for all our people, do on-job training, refresher course, and also regular monthly CME, selecting the topic which is important to our day-to-day work. Screening of lead devices for the safe and working condition. It has to be screened so that there is no cracks, because it is a device to protect you. So let's protect it also. Let, let's all work without ego. In 100% of our community, this is within only for 2%. So it is very less. So let's join hands and change this. Let's not have any difference in opinion in our work. Arguments are good. Definitely, we have to debate. But however, at the end of the day, we all are colleagues. We come under one family. Guys, Corona has taught us a lot of lessons. Actually, in the field of radiology, we all are working in hospital. We have to understand, we are washing only hands, wearing masks, cleaning the equipments only after Corona has arrived. So we have slipped out from our practices. My recommendations, with it's not my individual recommendation, it is my experts, my colleagues, my mentors. When I discuss with them, at least another 6 months, even if the lockdown has been called off, please ensure to follow strictly the guidelines, whatever is in place. I like to thank Google and also Atomic Energy Regulatory Board website. It is very important. Please log on to it and get benefited. Google, you have to be careful. A small spelling mistake also, you will be landing up in a different website. So be careful and enjoy it. Again, I want to thank you all. Let's do our job properly. Let's assist and support our team. Be loyal to your leaders and your senior radiographers who has taught us. Let's seek solutions to the problem and show interest in the activity in a passionate way. Demonstrate a long-term interest in your work and organization. In all this busy work, please don't forget your parents, your family, friends, and their loved ones. This is one life. Let's lead the life happily and make others happy. have any doubts, anytime I am available for you guys. Please ping me if you have any doubts. It's not only we are all experts. I know you all are having enough knowledge. Let's share the knowledge so we will have fruitful time so that we develop a very good radiology professional team in this world, connecting all the radiotherapy, nuclear medicine, radiographers, everybody, and learn from each other and strengthen this community. Life does not get better by chance, it gets better by change. So accept changes and let's work as a team because team works, the team works. Thank you.